Hello and welcome back to our business meeting. My name is Molly Beck and I'm here today with Jen Glantz. It is August 13th, 2026, and boy, do we have an agenda to get through on this meeting.
I know that you have had a busy day, but I need to tell you what I have been up to first because
What?
I went to a show with Gemma today on Broadway, off Broadway. It's
Okay.
called The Gazillion Bubble Show.
Classic.
And let me tell you, it was awful. There's
Like
way
it.
too many bubbles. Like, I didn't realize I had sensory issues till I'm in this freaking room and they're just like shooting bubbles at you and it smells soapy. And I'm like, this is toxic and get me out of here. But I'm trying not to, I kept saying to her, are you having a good time? Do you want to go? And she kept being like, Mommy, stop.
Are you having a good
Like,
time?
do you want to go now? But yeah, there was just too many freaking bubbles. Like, there are actually a gazillion and it's like infuriating. It's annoying. It's great for kids, for the adults.
Randomly, I know someone else that has been to this gazillion bubble show, and their feedback was it was actually a gazillion bubbles.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I want to sue. If it's not a gazillion bubbles, like I want to sue for my money back. But like,
It was a gazillion.
okay, but you have had like a really crazy day. So now tell us what you have done.
Well, this is my first day back at the meeting since I've turned 40.
We've missed you.
And I just want to say you did an amazing job holding down the fort. I thought you did a great job. Your Bumble story from yesterday is doing quite well on YouTube Shorts. Like that was a great pick, and I liked your take on it. Um, However, since I am now 40, they recommend that once you turn 40, you get a mammogram if you haven't already. And I went and got my mammogram for the first time this morning.
What was
Couldn't have
it
been
like?
easier. Could not have been easier. Nothing to be scared about. Like it was really fast. Like it was like the lowest level of like slightly uncomfortable. The
What do
positions
you
they have
mean?
you in.
Like, how would you
They'll be
describe
like
it?
it's kind of like an X-ray, so it kind of like squishes your boob. So they'd be like, oh, can you move a little closer this way? Or like they kind of are like positioning you, but it doesn't hurt at all. The machine
Does
wasn't
it
even
feel like
cold.
someone stepping on a boob or like smacking a boob? Like, what's the pain level like?
No, none. Like it would be. It's like it didn't even hurt. Like you would get more hurt like I don't know, taking a shower. Like it was just nothing.
Wow.
So I can't recommend that enough. If you're putting it off because you're scared, don't be. And the
When you
second
get
thing I
results,
did,
is it automatic?
no, they said that they would put it in my portal. And so you know me always checking my portal.
I'm just
And
so proud of you because I feel like you didn't really go to doctors or do anything for like a long time. In the past like 6 months, you've been to like literally everyone, including the eye doctor.
I have done. I'm trying to get all my things on the same schedule, so like all of them in like the same time period. And the mammogram, I tried to schedule it earlier, but you have to be 40, so
Mm.
I like did it after. The other thing I did today is there's a local election in my hometown, and I went and I voted. You know
Wow.
what? All politics are local, and I felt strongly about who I wanted to vote for, so I did.
Was the
And
voting at the library? Like, where do you vote?
of course, just vote at the library, and it
Ooh,
couldn't be easier.
that's
And like
amazing.
love it. So if you have a local election, it's really fast. You get the I voted sticker, and then you can feel like part of something bigger. The only thing I tried to do beforehand is I tried to look up the full ballot online. I was having a little trouble locating that, but I knew
Are you,
most of the candidates, but
are you
still.
are you allowed to have your phone while you're voting to Google or no?
That's a good question. Probably not, but I didn't try it.
You
I didn't
know,
try
when I voted for mayor, it was so easy, but also like I was so nervous because I had to bring the whole circus. Like I had to bring the husband, the dog, the child. And they were like, everyone is welcome here. Come on in. And they let us all come in. It was so easy. But what was weird, and this is my question for you, is they didn't check my ID. Did they check your ID?
Well, I feel like that's like a very hot button political issue.
Yeah.
Is that in some places
Which
they
we
don't.
will not get into it. But I just want to
But
say, I can't.
yes, they definitely checked my ID and they checked my signature too.
Yeah. So like I just got there and I was like, my name is whatever my name is. And they're like, okay, great. Here, go vote. And I was like, but I have my ID. Like, do you need my voter card? Like, what do
Kind
you
of
need
obsessed
there?
with you not saying your name here. Like that's like the privacy concern.
Don't Google me. I don't want you to Google me. That was weird to me that they didn't check my ID. New York, Florida, whatever. Yeah. We're not going to
They're
get into politics on this show, though.
no, but it is interesting. I mean, they definitely checked mine. They were triple checking actually. They because they compared it to other stuff.
Wow.
Now, speaking of the news, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah. So I have a story about a job that does not require a college education but pays over six figures.
Hmm.
However, you have to be under 31 to apply for this job.
YouTuber.
They're
And
gonna say,
we are pushing the limits.
they're gonna say OnlyFans.
Another one. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, this one might be a little shocking to you, but it's actually air traffic controllers.
Oh,
And what the story is about is obviously like air traffic controller has gotten a lot of news lately for not so positive things. There's been a couple of hiccups that have happened where there have been major plane incidents that have happened. So they're on the rise to hire new people. And one of the types of people they're targeting are actually video gamers because they say that that is one of the best skills to have to do this job. They want someone who's good at multitasking, quick decision making, managing a lot of information at once. So they've been looking for people who are good at video games. More than 2,000 candidates have been hired in the last year, in the last actually 6 months. And what's interesting about this type of job is that only 25% of air traffic controllers have a typical college degree, the rest don't. And the other interesting fact about this job is that, again, you have to be under 31 to apply. And at age 56, it's mandatory that you have to retire. So it's kind of crazy, kind of an interesting field to go into.
well, what I thought was really cool about that story is that they want someone with a background in video games, and I feel like it, for me as a millennial, I feel like video games were very demonized throughout our youth. Like that's what's causing the downfall of America, and I feel like it's very interesting they're looking for that. And also, like I know that like for surgeons, they like recommend surgeons play video games to like help with dexterity. I don't know. There's a lot of like interesting use cases for being good at video games. I just want to say the air traffic controller. Damn, that job is freaking stressful.
It's a
You
24/7 job.
well, I don't know if it's 24/7, but it's like when you're there, you can't do anything else. Like
Right,
you're
right.
not you have to be so locked in. I heard this like horrifying story recently about an air traffic controller that fell asleep. This is decades ago, but they fell asleep on the job because they had like young kids and were tired. And when they woke up, a plane had literally crashed because
Yeah.
they weren't there to properly like it's a really high stress job. Whenever I'm like flying, and because I'm kind of a nervous flyer, I'm always like saying prayers for that. I'm like, please let the air traffic controller stay calm, do their job. Like they're a very important part of like the flying industry.
Well, it's like one of a handful of jobs that like there's no errors that you can possibly make.
Exactly.
Like think about another job. I would say like a surgeon, but sometimes even with like doctors, you could make an error here and there and patch it up and fix it. Like it's not ideal, but you can. Air traffic control, like you absolutely cannot make an error. And there's really not a lot of jobs like that. So if you think about it, does learning out of a textbook actually help you with a job like that? No. Having real life skills does. What's a real life skill? Doing these video games where you're like so locked in. I don't know one person who plays video games who has their phone on them. Like you're so locked in. I don't think you could have ADHD and play video games. Like I think you need to be like super super focused. So it actually does make sense, but you're right. Like when we were growing up, video games were like, oh, they're a gamer. And now it's like there's whole movements against stopping kids from doing video games. So look, not every kid is a school kid. We know that. Not every kid is a
Yeah.
textbook kid. So if you have a kid who is really into gaming, maybe there is a pipeline to becoming an air traffic controller. That's not to say let them game for 1,000 hours a week, but like maybe it's something that you warm up and teach them about. Because again, like, did you ever hear of the job air traffic controller? Do you know anybody who has that job? Like, I didn't. I don't.
I definitely don't. I wonder also if they have like the eyesight requirements. Like I know pilots have a lot of eyesight requirements. I wonder if you
That
have
mean?
a similar thing. I don't know.
What does it mean?
Okay, on another job, here's another job news for you coming out about a former employer of mine.
Hmm.
So, interesting story coming out of the New York Times yesterday, which was a very prominent Forbes editor had sort of mysteriously left their post in June after many years at the organization. And they were high enough at Forbes that the New York Times did a little investigative work to figure out why they left so suddenly. And they discovered that, I don't know if it was allegedly or confirmed, but that this reporter had taken $6 million from a company that they had worked with as part of their editorial duties. And they did not disclose it to Forbes, which is why they were let go. And I was just wondering, let's say you have a normal job and you just work at a big company, and like a customer of yours sends you a gift basket. Are you feeling like you need to disclose that? And then go all the way up. Like how much what gift are you getting from a customer or a client until you're disclosing it to like your higher ups?
It's so interesting because like I have done some freelance writing, I've done some social media stuff. So people always offer to like send me stuff, give me stuff. Like they want to wine and dine you. I've gone on press trips before in the hopes, but never the guarantee, like in the hopes that you will write about that this company or this hotel. And it's such an interesting thing because you are accepting a monetary gift, like you are being paid off. And as a freelance writer, there's no rules around this. As a staff writer, I'm sure there are, but you always feel kind of crummy because when you take it and you don't do anything, they hound you. You're kind of like dead to them in a sense. It's like a very weird transactional relationship. But when you do something for them, it's kind of like lying and cheating and never really worth it. Um, so it's like, what is the line? What is the boundary? Now, what confuses me about this story is like so much of Forbes is sponsored content. So like, why couldn't this company have just gone through Forbes? Like, I'm sure Forbes would have been like, great, pay us the 6 million. We'll literally write that you are like the greatest company in the world. Like, why did they funnel it through this guy? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, the financials of it are murky, but I agree with you. I think press trips are like extremely confusing. You almost never bring a staff writer on a press trip. You're bringing
Right.
freelancers. The like ethics around it are a little murky. And they've only gotten murkier as like things like Instagram or like disclosing things are not disclosing. But I also feel like if I have a great cool job, like I'm really high up at Forbes, I am so scared of losing that job that like someone sending me a gift basket and I'm like running it by my boss to be like, "Hey, is this cool?" And I feel like that there is potentially an argument to be made that you're accepting like a small amount of like a gift card or something, but like I just feel like $6 million is like too high of an amount to ever say in good conscience that you were okay not disclosing that to your employer. Like
I wonder how
seriously.
they find this out. Like, how do you find this out? Because I doubt the company just like handed him a check for 6 million. Like they probably had some sort of sketchy way of laundering the money to him. So like,
It's a great point.
it's like so crazy. And then like how did it come to light? I bet you like honestly, they feel like they own you, right? So then maybe this guy didn't do what they asked him to do, and then maybe they went to the company and said, "Hey, let me expose this for you." Like it's blackmail.
Well, I also feel like now Forbes has two problems. Not only is their credibility hurt because this happened, but also somebody at Forbes, I would imagine, had to have like leaked this story to the New York Times, like a big competitor. So now they have that editor that accepted the money is gone, but now I would think that they have to have somebody on the inside that's like giving them the scoop of why he really left. So now, and that person must still work there, right? I would think. So like just feeling like it's a tricky time to be at in journalism already, and then you're at Forbes and it's even trickier. Although I
But
did just see their 50 over 50 list came out, and I
is
do
that
love it.
is that a new thing that they're doing, or is that has been
No,
that been
they
forever?
started it in maybe like 2016, 2017, because those lists do very well for them. You know, like
I
30
know.
under 30 and
What
all those.
disappointed me about 50 under 50, 50 over 50 is like the oldest age was like 75, which is impressive. But like, give me someone who's in their 80s and 90s. Like, let's have
They
like,
should have done that wing walker, that girl that was 97, like
there you go.
that's pretty
Like,
cool.
I feel like you need to have somebody from like every single decade if you're doing 50 over 50 rather than like stop at 75. Cause like, I don't know. I just kind of was
I feel like you could
disappointed
at
by it.
least get someone in your 80s.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
once you hit 90s, it's like a little more challenging to find someone because they also have to be not. You have to know about them and they have to be like nominated.
But there's
And
like
like
there's like a lot of like cool influencers who are like in their 80s, like that are
that's
like,
a great
like there's a lot of
point.
people who are doing amazing things that are in their 80s. I just feel like I was disappointed by the average age of like the age being 75 that it was capped.
Wouldn't it be so baller if there was like a 103-year-old there?
Yeah, and my joke for you is like, well, clearly we missed 30 under 30, so
I just missed 40 under 40.
well, guess what we're gonna be aiming for.
I'm in a bit of a no man's land now. I feel like there's nothing between 40 and 50. Although years ago I worked on an initiative that was called 40 over 40, but I don't know if they're still doing it. but
But
I feel like now it's gonna
you
be
have
all
10
insane.
years. I have a little more than
Oh
10 years.
yeah, and then it begins.
A
You
little
don't
more.
even have to worry about this mammogram conversation. You've got what, like a full 18 months? No, how old are you? 38?
Yeah, give or take a couple months. Speaking of doing sketchy SHIT,
No, you actually are 37, aren't you? You're
no, I'm
37.
38,
Oh, you
38,
are
almost
38.
38 and a half. Yeah, I'm just trying to play like cool because don't look me up.
So I'm not gonna say my name on the show, just so you know. Like I went and I said, "Hello, my name." Well,
Whatever.
it's not a big deal what name I
Yeah,
said.
no, totally. Speaking of sketchy stuff, and we've heard this story in the news a while, but it's only getting worse, is Bill Gates' daughter, Phoebe
Mm.
Gates, who started this company called Phia, has been in the news because there's been like a whole scam around it. But now she's been accused of cookie stuffing. So basically, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So she started this company called Phia. It's an AI shopping assistant that I guess can help you figure out, like, okay, where can I find this item? Where can I find it for less? It has coupon codes. It raised $30 million last year from investors like Haley Bieber, Kris Jenner, Sarah Blakely. Like, feel like literally every celebrity gave them money. They were on a podcast tour where they did every podcast. They had a Dear Media podcast that got canceled.
What I'm
So
hearing,
now,
Jen, is that there's an opening in the Dear Media lineup.
and we don't do anything
Well, I
sketchy.
do a lot of cookie stuffing, but it's with actual cookies.
I'm like, there's a joke here, and you better take this joke. The
Totally, of
only
course.
cookies I'm stuffing go right here.
Crumbly. Anyways, okay,
So
yes.
basically, they were accused of cookie stuffing, which is basically just like illegally taking credit for sales that didn't come from their platform. When this was caught and this function was disabled, they lost around $80,000 in daily revenue. So it was very clear that this was a big scam that they were running. But what a lot of the headlines have been saying about this, which might be inflated, might be true, there might be some truth to it, is that for the crime that they committed, you can have up to 20 years in prison for this type of crime because it's considered wire fraud. Um,
Interesting.
will she ever see a day of prison in her life? No. Her father's Bill Gates, like, not going to happen, you know? But it is interesting because if this was anybody else, what would that outcome look like? And do we think this is a big deal? What are your thoughts on this whole scandal?
Mm. Wow, this is really, I didn't hear about the 20 years in prison thing. Um, well, you'd have to, in order for, first of all, someone would have to bring the charges. You'd have to prove that there's a victim, which I guess the retailers could do, but it would
Yeah.
have to be like a material thing that they didn't get. And then I guess maybe it wouldn't be retailers, maybe it'd be other cookie farms would have to prove that it hurt their revenue.
Right. Like if
And,
I'm like reward style or if I'm honey, you're
mm,
screwing me over.
and I just want to say, Honey got in trouble for something very similar a couple years ago. Like, I think all these cookie businesses are just like, it's really hard because like the problem is it's like last click attribution usually. So if like I get sent a link to, a brand new iPhone by 5 different people, who gets credit for that sale? Like, and usually it's just the last person usually, but like I think that what they're accused of is that they somehow like could swap out the cookies all the time. So even if it wasn't the last one or the first one, like I'm paraphrasing, but they were doing something that they weren't supposed to be doing with the cookie attribution. I also just feel, she's very young. She's very young.
23.
Yeah. And like I'm not saying that what she was doing wasn't correct, but like, when Uber did it and started taking like all the taxi drivers without like, having a taxi service in the business, everyone's like, wow, he's such a entrepreneur. Nothing will stop him. And like, I feel like,
Mhm.
if you're Bill Gates' daughter, you already have a lot of people looking at you.
Yeah.
And you're like a young founder that's raised a lot of money from high profile people. And people love to see, what's that Taylor Swift lyric? They love to see you rise, but they don't want you to reign.
I just feel like this isn't like a crime that I care that much about because it doesn't affect people. It affects like, like, I don't care
Saying
if
it's a
someone gets hurt.
crime is
Yeah,
like,
it didn't hurt anyone. So it's like, who cares? We've said this from the start. We think that this idea is kind of not the best idea of a business. Like, I think she should go back to the drawing board. I think there's something else out there, but I don't necessarily think this business is like innovative at all, let alone worth $30 million of investment. But
okay, you're Bill Gates' daughter. What business are you starting?
something like local mom and pop, like like I like if you love books, like a local bookstore, like something that you aren't doing for like the glitz and the glam because you already have that. So it's like just live a small life. I'm changing my last name. I'm doing something just like I don't know, unless like what would you do?
I don't know if I would. I feel like I like the idea of something like a physical store, like brick and mortar, and then. But I feel like you are, if you want to be an influencer, which like maybe she does. I feel like you have like an interesting leg up, and like I think that if you want to take advantage of it, you can. And I feel like maybe you have a real like a quote unquote real physical business that you're going to, but then you have like honestly like a Dear Media podcast
Yeah.
where you talk about the intersection of tech and small businesses, or like if you can convince it, have your dad and you. Honestly, I'd probably do be a TikToker and make my dad be in all my content. Actually, that's what I would do. I'd be like, Daddy, we're gonna do all these dances together. Get on
Oh
board.
God. Would I spend every hour of my life watching Bill Gates and her dance? Yes, a
Yeah,
thousand
I would
percent.
too.
Like
And
that's
also,
all we want to see.
she's a super cutie, right?
Yeah, she's really cute. And you know what I would do though if like he was my dad, I would pick a cause that matters so much to me and I would just like have a nonprofit or something to fight that cause. Like and I know they do a lot of nonprofit work and whatever, but like I don't
Well,
know,
her
it's like
mom. I mean, her mom is very powerful too. Like her
yeah,
mom.
yeah. I don't know. Like I think at that level, it's like, what is your purpose of life when you have a gazillion dollars? What is your purpose? Like, what do you wake up every morning and care about when you already have money like that? 'Cause that's not little money. That's like billions,
It's
almost
really hard.
trillions.
I mean, I feel like nobody, of course, nobody wants to hear anybody rich complain, but I do imagine that it is challenging. When we talked about, I went to that Warren Buffett shareholders conference, and Bill Gates was there the year I was there. He was sitting on the floor, and they talk a lot from the stage about generational wealth and like how to make sure your kids are like hungry for generational wealth. I'm pretty sure Bill Gates was there. Well, don't quote me on that, but Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are very close either way. Anyways, I feel like it's a real challenge if you've made a lot of money, because also like I feel like it's be like live a small life. Who wants to be told that? Even if your dad is like enormously successful, like everyone wants to make their mark on the world, and maybe her mark isn't money related, but then the next path would be like, okay, be famous. Like, if you don't have a lot of money, can you be famous? Like, yeah, you definitely can. So I don't know. I feel like it's hard.
No, I think she lives a version of life that is very challenging, that is not very relatable. But I feel like, yeah, the all eyes are on her. I think she can just come up with a better idea than this. It never made sense to me that this was going to be like the next big thing.
I'm rooting for her. Honestly, I am. And I think people should stop saying she's going to jail for 20 years. All that does is like scare everyone.
It's such a stupid headline, but obviously it's what gets people to click and care about this story. So it's been recycled in the news so much. It's like, again, like I don't think this is as bad of a crime as that girl who forged her numbers when she sold the company,
I mean,
Charlie, whatever.
I feel like, I mean, I suppose it is a crime, but I feel like calling it I mean, I guess it is. I mean, I don't know. I guess suppose if I was running a competitor to Phia and now I had 80 grand less in revenue every
A
day, I would be
day,
very upset.
right?
It's just hard. Like, it's kind of like white collar crime. It's like, well, who is the victim? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, she's never going to prison. It's a waste of time to even think that, but it's
Okay.
just, yeah.
Is she going to Cracker Barrel? Because that's our next story. Now, speaking of women in business, okay, brief
This
history of
girl
Cracker Barrel.
this girl has had a
She's
journey.
had a journey. First of all, Jen, have you ever been to Cracker Barrel?
Of course not. Have you?
Oh my God. Yes, please. It's like, is the Pope shit in the woods or whatever the phrase is?
I couldn't tell you what they serve at a cracker. Do they serve crackers? Like, what do they do at a Cracker Barrel? I have no idea.
It's very homespun. The whole thing is
Mm.
like supposed to feel like you're in like your grandmother's house. And there's a picture of me super pregnant with one of my kids playing this really fun game. Every Cracker Barrel is famous for this little game that they have on the table. I actually bought a version of it for my parents. So while you're waiting for your food, you're playing this little like cute little, it's kind of like a tic-tac-toe-ish
Mm.
game. And then you're eating, the food you're eating is like a lot of like Southern biscuits, like think waffles, think bacon.
Gotcha.
Um, and so now this Cracker Barrel has been around for a long time. Most famously, what's happened to them in the last, so they've had the same CEO since 2023. Her name is Julie Massino. And the most exciting thing that's ever happened to Cracker Barrel is last year they changed their logo And you would have thought that they were taking puppies out back and shooting them. People were so upset that Cracker Barrel had changed their logo and also changed they like as part of they were doing a rebranding. So the logo went along with like a new minimalistic look and feel to their stores. People were so upset about it. It made like international news. Literally, President Trump weighed in on it. And then they walked the whole thing back. Julie was very, since she was a CEO, she was getting a lot of the flack. And I guess she was given options to leave, but she was like, no, I want to see it through. Well, now it's been a whole year, and she said, guys, I'm done here. And now they've brought in someone new to be the CEO. And I just want to say the last line of the article is the funniest line, because they say that I guess they're like looking for her replacement now or whatever, but she's still in the job. And it says, Massino didn't attend the conference. She was at the company's Lebanon, Tennessee headquarters, where she appeared more relaxed, some of the people said. It's like, okay, so here's my question. You obviously become the CEO of Cracker Barrel. You must like the food. Okay, so then you have this like very bumpy tenure as CEO. It's like 3 years later, you're driving on the highway, you see a Cracker Barrel. Are you going in for a meal?
No. It's like, if you come back to New York, are you stopping by your old companies that you never been fired, but like that maybe fired you or laid you off, or you just had left on bad terms?
I'm thinking of some brands that I've worked at that I still use their services. You know what I'm doing? If I really love the food, I'm staying in the car and I'm sending Colin in to get the food. I'm like, let's go to Cracker Barrel. Go inside and get me some food, bring it out to the car. Like, she must like the food. Why would you work at the company unless you liked the food? What is it, the McDonald's CEO eating his hamburger?
No, let's say you were like in the fast food world and you got offered a CEO job of, like, let's say I got offered a CEO job of a fast food company that I don't eat fast food, but I'm in that world. Would you take it? But you don't like the food.
I feel like it's very challenging. If you really think like a food is like, I would never work at a cigarette company. I don't think I would work at an alcohol company. Like if I felt like personally the product, like I feel like you partially don't eat fast food because you probably rightly believe it's not very healthy and not very good for you. So like you probably you wouldn't want that on your conscience, that your job is to get it in front of more and more people. I don't have that hang up, but I would never work in food anyways, because I feel like food is so challenging to work. And I feel like it's like the hardest industry.
But you're so right. Like I could never work in alcohol because if I was in marketing for alcohol, I'd have absolutely no idea exactly. We haven't had alcohol in 1,000 years. Like
It's also just, it's more fun to work on a product that you think is that you personally use. Like, that's why I always want to work at Starbucks. Like, I seriously love Starbucks. And so, like, it would be so fun to work on that brand. You know, I love podcasts. I work in podcasting. Like, I'm doing a podcast. Like, it's just very hard to promote something you don't believe in.
I want to say the cliche and take it seriously. I don't think you should shit where you eat, literally. Like, I don't think you should work in the food business that you like. It's like, if you like ice cream, I don't think you should work in an ice cream store because you're probably going to get so sick of it. You're going to, like, the curtain's going to come up and you're going to see things you don't want to see. So it's like, sure, maybe you like love Chick-fil-A and they offered you a job. Like, to be that high up there, I think like it's going to ruin your passion for that, potentially for that food and that business. And that's like an extreme thing, but like I just don't think you should shit where you eat.
But you know what I will say? Like, I did work at Forbes and I don't work at Forbes anymore, and I still read Forbes.
True.
But you know what? We're doing this whole thing, and what is the brand we always talk about? Wall Street Journal.
True. Seriously. You're more brand loyal to them. Well, I have another fast food story for you that I was saving for you. It's that Domino's is launching a new individual sized pizza called the Domino at the end of the month. It's rectangular. It offers more toppings than the original one, and it's $7.99. And the reason why they're doing this is because Domino's and the fast food pizza industry has been struggling for years, because as the economy has gone down, people are looking to get more bang for their buck, and often you don't get that with pizza. So their sales have been down. They've been trying to innovate. They polled like thousands of people to see what kind of new innovative product they could launch. And the biggest feedback they got was that people don't want to share their food. They want something for just them. And pizza is the type of food that you share. 43% of US food service meals are now eaten alone. So the other trend is that people like to eat alone. So their new innovative product that they're hoping will save the day for them are these individual sized pizza. Now, you've got a lot of people in your family. You're ordering Domino's. How does that work for you? Would anyone get the individual? What do you think?
First of all, I just want to say what a missed opportunity. What should Domino's be doing? They should be trying to do what Chili's does and appealing to the moms. The fact that they're calling it a domino instead of a mahjong tile is insane. Like it should be that is what it should be called. Am
Wait,
I
like
wrong?
I'm sorry. I never in my wildest dreams thought that this is what you were going to say. You don't play Mahjong. You don't, it's like not your world. I'm playing tonight with a bunch of people.
Right?
Like, whoa, my mind is blown. Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Like
Appeal
that's
to
what
the
they should be going after. If you're a fast food brand listening, you should be thinking about how you can brand it. It should be ready to go 4-person meals that like whatever the what do they call it? Like crack and what are
crack and bam and dots. And like, I'm hosting Mahjong tonight. So I have to feed all four people. And it's like, what, what do I do? So yeah, if someone had like a Mahjong special that wasn't super crazy, love it. Genius. Never thought you would say this, but you're evolving into new hobbies
I'm
potentially.
evolving. And also I hate sharing my food. You know, it's like my number one pet peeve.
You don't share. Yeah.
Tapas is my nightmare. Like,
You don't share
sorry, I
dessert.
actually or no, I don't share dessert. Like, I don't share anything. I don't like people up in my business.
So do you
Seriously.
think this is a good idea?
Yeah, I actually think the core idea is a good idea to lean more into self-service. Like, do I think it's a great commentary on society that fast food used to be something that you would eat with your friends or your family when you were running around and now you're eating it by yourself? No, I don't. But like I think it's a good idea to have more self-service options. I will say something about Domino's is a lot of their pizza is square already, isn't it? So like
Yeah.
why wouldn't
I think it's like, like I guess like a big fight maybe in families is like, do you guys ever fight about this? Like you guys want olives, but they want
mm,
blah 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 and you want this. And like it
yeah.
never mixes together. Like I will never have separate combos of toppings on a big pizza. Like it's either cheese or you get your own. So maybe that's one of the biggest things. But the CEO spent 2 years researching, and this was the idea that he came up with, and he's leaning full into.
Okay, well, he spent 2 years researching it, I came up with Mahjong tile in 30 seconds, like, and how much is this guy being
He's a
paid?
man. He
Of
is
course.
a man. He doesn't know what the women are doing. The women aren't sitting home crocheting or playing mahjong.
Seriously, honestly, Chili's rebrand to, like, suburban moms should be studied because it is, like, the place to go now.
Why is it so good? Because they got a lot of deals.
I think they've just, like, I feel like they worked with influencers. They did that remember they did that, Hallmark movie that was, like
Oh,
oh my god, they worked with Hallmark, what, like, the height of, like, a Hallmark movie craze, where they did a whole storyline around a Chili's and, like, them like, they falling in love at a Chili's, and it got a lot of play online, which actually, I just wanna say, the new Cracker Barrel CEO that they're, like, leaning towards is from, Outback Steaks, and I didn't realize that the parent company of Outback Steaks is called Bloomin' Brands, and that makes sense because you know Outback's, like, big dish is the bloomin' onion.
oh, who else owns? Who else do they own other than
I
Outback?
actually don't know. I'm not sure. I
I
feel like
feel
Outback is like Rainforest Cafe in Australia.
I'm okay. I'm like adding this all up. Do you ever go to a rainforest cafe? How do you know about them?
Yes, I was there not that I was there like less than a month ago.
But before
Um,
you moved in Florida, did you know they existed?
yeah, they're up in Massachusetts.
Okay.
It was at like a mall, like a little bit farther
Yeah.
away from our house, so it was like a whole experience. And you
You
know, I
know,
love when the rain every 20 minutes when it rains. It's great.
Outback Steakhouse, you don't hear about them like ever. So like either they're doing everything right or they're not doing anything right. But like when has the last time you ever heard about Outback Steakhouse in the news?
Well, you know, I have a family member that loves Outback, and we talk about it constantly and like gift cards to Outback. We talk about the Bloomin' Onion. It's an extended family member, and but
I
it's like a core part of their personality.
I feel like it's doing well because every time I drive by an Outback in Florida, there's like people there.
No, it's literally like Rainforest Cafe. They have like all the animals. It's Rainforest Cafe if it was set in Australia.
Oh,
They
okay. I've
have like
never
all the
been
little
yet.
animals around. You wouldn't like it. It's a steakhouse.
Yeah. Like my fast food would be like a macaroni grill. I could like get down at like a macaroni grill.
God, I haven't been to a macaroni grill in a long time.
That's like what I could do.
Name
I could
like
do
what did they even serve there? Obviously macaroni, I think.
They give you crayons and paper on the table and you can color.
Say no more.
Yeah. So like I could
Get
do
him,
that.
Sam.
That's
Get the
yeah.
girls in the car, take the car to the club, and
And then go to Mahjong.
then go to Mahjong. That's all I have on my agenda. Do you have anything else before we wrap?
No, I think that was a great midday business meeting and we did it.
Thank you everyone for coming to we have finished our whole agenda, and for next steps, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.